Wrong picture. Hello, it's Mark. It is super hot up here in the loft. But hey, we're British. We moan when it's raining. We're moaning when it's too hot. Yeah. So I'm armed with a bottle of water tonight. So hence the sweaty look and messy hair. Is just complaining that it's cold, complaining it's hot. Anyway, rant over. Welcome to our live stream here, Thursday, the 9th of May, 2024. I hope you are all well. Let's find out where you are joining from. So comment below. Let's see who's tuning in tonight. Where are you lovely, wonderful people tuning in from as I take a slurp of the first bit of juice tonight? It's going to be lots of drinking tonight. Right. Who's in the house tonight? We have got Megan tuning in from the Isle of Wight. Lovely. The birthplace of our chief scout, Bear Grylls. Nick's tuning in from Yorkshire. Hello. David tuning in from Claydon. Charlotte joining my new group, Garling in Margate. Garlinge? That sounds quite posh. I'm going for that. Thank you very much for joining everyone tonight. I hope you are all doing rather well on this kind of sweaty night back up in the loft. Apologies for the last couple of weeks of no live streaming. It's just been a whole lot of things going on a Thursday night, swimming lessons and work-related stuff, and just unfortunately, family work comes first before scouting. So I've got to do that because that's what pays the bills. Derek tuning in from London. How you doing, my friend? So a few things happening tonight. We're going to be talking about this big news that's happening across the pond in America. We'll be talking about that, the launch party that happened a few days ago. I think it was yesterday or the day before, but it's all over the press right now. And we'll be talking about another thing, the Bear Grylls live show that I was lucky enough invited to. We'll be talking about that really briefly. Hey, Jason, how you doing, my friend? And also, we're going to be talking about an event that I'm doing in Gilwell next weekend called the Nights Away something. I had it in my head, and I just forgot about it. Nights Away? Hang on. I can't remember what it's called now. That's not a good. What am I talking about, Mark? Does anyone know what it's called? The Nights Away Weekender. That's it. It starts next Friday, so we'll be talking about that in just a few moments. So, wow, it is hot up here in the loft tonight. The good thing is, there's no. Well, beavers have gone to the park. They're doing litter picking tonight. So I won't be complaining about how noisy the beavers are tonight. Just complaining about how hot it is up here in the loft. Right, so let's talk about Bear Grylls Live. I was lucky enough, I was invited by Bear Grylls Academy. All right, so not the Adventure Academy. So Bear Grylls has like a school that you can go to, run courses for a week. They do things in holiday parks. You can do stuff with your work, that kind of thing. So it's called the Bear Grylls Academy. They invited me along to Wembley last weekend to go and see the last night of his Bear Grylls Never Give Up tour. Absolutely brilliant, really cool. Had a nice chat with Bear. Matt Hyde was there, Chris James was there, Dwayne Fields was there. So it was quite cool to go and see some people, and lots of people coming up to me saying thank you for the YouTube channel. So it was quite cool. And it was just about him talking about how he got to where he is, a bit of behind the television scene, stuff we don't really see. And this kind of motto, this mantra that he uses, and also I use myself, about never giving up, about people putting you down. He used a really cool phrase called the dream catchers. So those people that say, oh, you can't do X, you can't do Y. And I had that a lot during my childhood. I'm going to put the fan on. 2 seconds. It might be a bit noisy. If it's too noisy, let me know. But oh, you might hear some rattling, but it is hot up here. Let me just, hopefully it won't be too hot. So he calls it the dream catchers. and it's about those people that say you can't do something. And as I was saying, I had that when I was growing up, and I was trying to get into radio, and people were saying that's never going to happen. So basically, for me, it was a bit like sticking two fingers up at someone and kind of going, "Actually, you can do that," and that's what he was mainly talking about in his talk. But the question I got sent the most was, I put a video up online about when Matt Hyde got introduced to come up to speak to Bear on the stage and thank him for his service of being a chief scout and now the world ambassador. And I don't know if you know, Bear's stepping down. There's a new announcement who's replacing him very soon. But Matt gave Bear a badge because Bear was talking about that. When he was in Scouts himself, he never had achieved that many badges. So Matt gave him a badge, and everyone's wanting to know, Mark, what was that badge that that Matt gave to Bear? Well, it's not very exciting. It's the one that you can buy off the shop. It's the one that says celebrating 50 years as the chief scout to
50 years seems a bit long.
Celebrating 15 years chief scout to the greatest family on earth. 2009 to 2024 is the chief scout. So there could be a big announcement if they're making this thing. Badge. So that's what he got. And you can buy them on the shops. So unfortunately, it wasn't a very special badge. But if you want to be awarded it, you can get it. Just sneaking in right now, Ray is in the building. He is just snuck in. I love this. I love this because it's not prepped at all, and we can see a bit of everything. Actually, what we'll do, we'll put this on mute for 10 seconds, and I'll move it to the table. Right, there we are.
Hello.
The only thing is, it's going to be a wobbly because we're on a table and it always wobbles. Got a bit of extra sunshine on the lamp. Right, we are back. We're back. Right, let's just catch up. Who's in the building? Sam's in the building. How you doing, my friend? I'm coming to the Isle of Wight next week. Nice. And Bear still quite often visits the Isle of Wight because his mum is still there. Chris, how you doing? Can you do a good Birmingham accent?
If you've come on my site to die, it's all I remember from the site induction when I worked at the ballroom on the building site.
Maybe not. Beer joining us from Cardiff, just got back from Rainbows. Nice. Adam, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Rebecca, evening, Mark and Ray. Good. That fan is just doing my head in. It's not doing anything. Bear with Ray talking for 10 seconds as I turn this annoying.
So how is everybody doing with now the heat sort of kicked in?
Well, I was just moaning about that. So it's now everyone's moaning.
I was all right.
It's too hot
downstairs. It's nice and cool. And
yeah,
then
but
you
not...
come up here. It's like.
But I've done shows downstairs and it's really echoey.
Yeah.
Even
I
though
remember when we recorded a few episodes down there.
Even though it's quieter. It's too echoey. Jonathan, how you doing? Hope your campfire went well at the Nottingham district or county event that you did last weekend. No, get out. Exactly. Dan, it's amazing for hiking. Yeah, I love the Isle of Wight. Isle of Wight's really good. Apart from, we went there a few years ago. We drove there. Lovely holiday. Brilliant. Got the ferry back. And as we're coming up the ferry, leave a bit of space. This car, bang, rolled into the front of my car. We're like, what the?
So I've not been to the Isle of Wight for about 20 years.
Went forward again, rolled back again. I was like, thankfully, there was just a little
mostly
crack.
flat though, isn't it? The Isle of Wight.
No, this was getting onto the ferry to get back.
Okay. Right. So I took the hovercraft.
Can't do that with the car. Right. So this big announcement. I was going to do a vlog today, but I thought actually that let's just talk about it while we're doing a live. I haven't done a live for 2 weeks, so we'll talk about it. Loving the warm weather. Deck chairs out in the garden for a few days. Oh well, if you're not working, it's amazing, isn't it?
I'm all packed up, ready for tomorrow. A week in a cabin by a lake.
Beautiful.
Brilliant.
No work, no alarm. Love it. So yeah, this big announcement. It was kept really hush hush. I kind of got tipped off about it, but this big thing about Scout America. Yeah. So we have known this logo for many years, many years. Boy Scouts of America.
You go to 3D print anything or find some stuff, it's normally got that logo on it rather than a more generic.
Absolutely. So Boy Scouts of America. Wrong button, Mark. Unless you just want to see that. And during the week, they made a big announcement of changing
from Boy Scouts
America to Scouting America.
Now, is that going to incorporate the Girl Scouts of America?
It's not Girls. Well, it is Girl Scouts of America. It was called something else. So I thought, let's talk about a few facts comparing girls in Scouting, because that's the whole reason why Boys of America have changed their name to Scouting America. And there was a whole load of comments going on about why is it called Scouting America? Why can't it be called Scouts of America? Why is it called Scouting America? The brand name doesn't sound right, and there's all this lots of kerfuffle. People not very happy.
I mean, it's a change. It can change again. It's a step in the right direction for being more inclusive. I'm going to take this off because I keep banging the table.
But it's a bit like Scouts, you know, it's the Scouts. It was called the Scouts for many years. Then Scouts UK, then they dropped the UK, and now Scouts. And you know,
I think we're the only group that can be called the Scouts as the originals.
Yeah. I love that they're making it more inclusive. Well, we're going to talk about this because there's more than one association. Yep. There's a space for Ray this weekend for our Campfire Leaders Training Weekend. He's on holiday. Mm-hmm. And this weekend, I'm going to Seaside. And then because next weekend, I'm at Gilwell. I want to get some sunshine. So I thought we'd play a little random facts about comparing America and England and the Scouts and stuff. So we know that Scouting started in what year?
1907.
Yeah. So Scouts in America, Scouts in the UK started in 1907. Baden-Powell went off to Brownsea Island. Bit of controversy about was that the first Scout camp? It wasn't. It was an experiment camp. We're not going to talk about that.
I mean, it was from that the movement was birthed. So
yeah, exactly. We're not talking about that tonight. We are just taking that the date of Scouts in the UK started in 1907. Yeah, and then it was a cold winter's evening. American came over. It was all foggy. He got stuck in London and discovered these two Scouts who helped him find the way to his destination. And that's how Scouts from the UK went to America, which started in what year?
1910, according to the notes.
Beautiful. You're not meant to tell people we have notes.
Oh,
Ray.
There are no notes.
He's
just a camera.
He's pointing to you. All right. So Scouts America started approximately 3 years later. So again, when were girls allowed in UK Scouting?
70s.
All right, apparently it was in 1976. Girls were allowed to come into UK Scouts. Yeah, but still, people to this very day, even I had a conversation just the other day about girls allowed to join Scouts.
Is this after the dip dop bit that everyone does?
Well, that finished in 83 or 84. Dip.
Yeah,
but people still think it. We still use it. Yeah, so there's all this thing. So Scouts in the UK were allowed to start in 1976. 1976, yeah, not 1987. Mega saying 1990. No, 1976. Girls were allowed to join Scouts here. So bearing in mind 1976, what year were girls allowed to start in Boy Scouts of America?
I mean, that was very recently. Like they've had a big orientations and stuff like that have been allowed, and like just before pandemic times,
Yeah.
that sort of really changed for the better over there.
Yeah. So there was a girl guiding version, and the name has gone off the top of my head what they call, but it was like the Girl Campfire Group or something along those lines there. That was kind of a spin-off to Girl Guiding.
See, I was going to say something, but I realised that was just in Parks and Recreation with the Pawnee Rangers.
So, right, I was really shocked. I was really shocked when I was trying to find out about the date of when girls are allowed to join Scouts in America. So, as I say, in England, 1976. In America, 2018, but only in Cubs. So they weren't allowed to join Scouts at all. Yeah. Then there's this big commotion, and in 2019, girls were allowed to join the Scout troop in America. So it's been a long day. I'm trying to work out top of my head, what is that? That's 34, at least nearly
48 years.
Nearly 40 years that we were in England way ahead of in Scouts. Girls joined Scouts, yeah. And Girl Guiding with Baden Powell and his sister and his wife started Girl Guiding, Olaf, yeah, in 1910, so just a few years after Scouts. And Girl Guiding in America started in 1912. So there's still this big competition of, open for everyone, but not open for everyone, So it's Girl Guides in America. Sorry, girls in Scouting in America were only allowed to join Scouts 5 years ago. You just think of all countries in the world,
for quite a progressive nation.
Yeah,
it's quite a backwards in it.
And do you know that I researched that so many times,
thinking, yeah, it's got to be wrong.
That's wrong. How can it only be 5 years ago that girls were allowed to join Scouts in America?
Yeah.
No. There must be, and every website was saying the same thing. So you're like,
not just somebody's.
Doesn't make any sense.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'm kind of speechless, but yes, I'm glad that this has all happened. But yeah, we are always talking about the episode in Girl Guides. If we should allow boys in, for a few units, we are starting to have male leaders. Yeah, so I've known for a long time that
say one of my old scouts is a male leader with the Girl Guides.
So you can have male leaders in Girl Guides, but you can't have boys joining Girl Guides. And I did a vlog about this years ago. I can't remember when I did it. I'll try and find it, and I'll put a link on it if I do find it. About talking to different people, and in my work, I meet a lot of people, yeah? A lot of people, we have psychologists coming in and all different people. And what they're basically saying is that girls need their own space, right? Boys aren't really bothered. Boys don't need that space. But apparently girls need to be girls and not have this boy thing. And that's why they're really strong about having Girl Guides as only Girl Guides.
I mean, it makes sense in that everything is very male-centric in the world, and you let them have their own space that they can create, develop, and explore without the influence of males. I mean, it's still good to have some positive male role modeling in there with the leaders, but let them have that space. If they wanted to co-section, they'd move to Scouts.
Join Scouts. I don't know. It's a hard one, isn't it? I've had this debate at home with my wife about, do girls actually need their own space to be girls?
Does your wife pick the opposite standpoint and make you argue it?
No, it's not like that. But it's just as a guy, I don't really understand that girls need their own space, but apparently they do. My daughter would not last in Girl Guides. She's too loud. It's funny.
My wife left.
Why?
She was in the Brownies and stuff, but then when you read the guides, she didn't like it.
Why?
Probably because she's too loud. And you've met my wife.
It's funny because for a few years here at in my Scouts, we've not had many girls. We had some girls They were doing amazingly, and they left to go to ballet dance, which happened on
Yeah.
a Thursday night. It was a real shame, and we had a while that we had no girls at all. And then we had one girl join, and I was really pushing to get her friends to join. And now we have got 5 or 6 girls.
Yeah.
And I can slowly see the dynamic slowly changing in Scouts. You know, these girls don't take any crap from
I
the
mean,
boys.
like Rubes is like on it.
She
She's
does
more
not.
more in charge than the patrol leader of her patrol.
And she is not afraid to go and speak to those boys and tell
No,
them
they're
to fuck their ideas up.
brilliant.
So it's quite fun to just, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it is fun to have girls taking these boys on and just, I don't know.
It's nice to have conversations around campfires. It isn't all
Gaming.
Roblox and
Gaming,
Minecraft
gaming
and Fortnite.
and gaming. So yeah, it's really cool that Scouts America have now changed, and this new branding of Scouting America. Girls are the best damping rods in troops.
I do think they keep people in check. Yeah, like just them being better at some things really takes the wind out of some boys'
The
sails.
boys hate it.
But it also it drives them forward to want to achieve more, and it does create a good set of competition, I believe.
Yeah, no, I think it's brilliant. Dan, we are having a survival camp in July, sleeping under the tops, cooking on fires, animal butchery. 18 girls signed up, 12 boys. Shows that they want to get stuck in and learn outdoor skills. I think that's absolutely brilliant. I don't know much about actually, I need to learn about this. The program of girl guiding. Yeah, there's all these rumors and myths and stuff. It is very girly, art and craft, cooking, sewing.
I mean, I think it depends on the leaders. Like my wife was a rainbow leader for a while, and that's literally all they did was arts and crafts. They went away to this exposition, and I imagine it was like what it was like back in the lid in the day, where you had like games and activity packs and stuff like that. And she said all the other leaders wanted to buy were arts and craft materials, like those iron beads and stuff like that. And my wife's like, "This isn't what I joined up for. I'm out."
Yeah, no. So I don't know, but some of the girls that we joined my troop left because of that reason. The girl guides weren't allowed to go camping and do fires, and it was all about arts and craft and being proper girly. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Adam, my old Explorer unit used to have a 70-30 split females, and they tended to be more engaged in the weekend program than the males. That's amazing. And if that's what happened here, you know, I was really pushing for the last.
Do you know what's even better when you have siblings that one's male, one's female, because they're always trying to outdo each other anyway, but they just bring everyone else.
No, it's brilliant.
Up.
I was really trying to push girls here, trying to get more girls, and that's brilliant to hear. That's really cool, Adam. I'm a long-time watcher, first-time commentator. I'm an Explorer Scout leader from West Sussex. Sadly, the entire leadership team at my Explorer unit resigned on Monday. I hope our unit is saved. Yeah, 356. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much for commenting.
Yeah, it's no longer a district provision, though, is it? So you can't even pull leaders in from other sections to try and save something anymore. It's up to the group or the unit itself to.
Oh, it's really difficult. It's really difficult, and you know, the longer you get involved in scouting, the more you can see. And I think the changes that are coming in, the training regulations, the stuff that leaders don't have to do, the would-be training, there's load of stuff that gets added on, you know, risk assessments. And in the end, you know what? Sometimes it's just too much. And you just think, is it really worth it? You know, we're volunteers, we don't get paid for this, yet this is kind of turning into almost full-time job. So in some situations, you can understand it, you know. And with Explorers, I've not done Explorers, you've done Explorers, and you get kind of, I know the stories that you've told me, you know, one week you might get 2, another week you might get all the Explorers, and another week you might get
1 or.
Yeah. So then you think, you know, if we put a program together, we're planning these things, okay, we've got to tweak it a little bit. Scouts, we tweak it a little bit, whether we're both knackered or whatever. But if you've got an Explorer program and you don't know how many are turning up, I guess that can be a bit of a kick in the teeth. Then you think, actually, what's the
So I did once go out, buy all the materials and stuff to do knife skills,
Yeah.
and only one turned up. So we had a one-on-one knife skills session. I took pictures all the way along and then posted them into our group. That all the
well,
kids
look
were
what you
on.
missed out on.
Yeah.
But there could be a whole load of reasons why. But for the entire leadership team, when you say entire, I don't know, because the entire leadership team in Scouts is me and you and Fatima part-time.
Yeah.
So that could mean just two of us. Or
So we talked about moving to a Monday because it might allow another leader to join in because of the stuff that he's got
Yeah.
in the evenings on a Thursday.
it's a real shame. If I can help you in any way, let us know. Comment. Politics and toxicity within the district cause the leaders' result. It's real.
Yeah.
It's so difficult. It's really hard, and
it's not even sometimes like
you're not even involved sometimes.
toxic. Yeah.
But sometimes you're from the outside listening to this, going, you know what? I don't want.
But it's like sometimes it's not toxic in the sense like it's going to destroy itself. It's toxic in that you've got like some individuals that always need to be heard and always need to do this and always need to do that, and you're like, hang on, no, like the numbers are dropping, like interest is dropping for these camps outside of your sections.
Yeah.
Like, why do we continue to push this agenda? Because we've always done it. But,
Number one.
Yeah.
It's difficult. We're having similar issues in our district. Oh, it's just it infuriates me because this happened when I started scouting here. And slowly more younger leaders are coming in, new ideas, and
then they're being held back by people going, oh no, this isn't how we do this in this district.
So sometimes, and this is what I did in my group, is kind of just going, you know what? It's in scouting. You might not agree with it, but we're doing it. So when I took my scout to Scout Studios, which is like, what, 15 minutes away? There was a lot of district members going, well, that's nothing to do with scouting. That's nothing. How is that? But actually, it's an experience.
But like they did fake news bulletins. So what's the difference between doing that and putting on a skit or a play that's part of the creative or performing arts badge? Like,
they learned how to use the cameras, the editing, green screens. They had to write a script. They looked around the studios. There was a cricket World Cup going on, so they got around to see some live studios. It was brilliant. It was really cool. Scouts got a lot from it.
Like, saw that when you posted it because we weren't in the same group at the time, and I'm like, that would have been a good fun day to help out or drag my two explorers over.
And that they were against that.
Yeah.
So that was at my early stages when I could have gone, actually, is this what it's going to be like? Then I'm out, you know. Yeah, man, it can be just really hard. So sometimes either you rise above it, you ignore it all, and do what you want to do as a group. Make sure you're following all POR guidelines, risk assessments. There's nothing to say that you have to do this district event.
Because when your numbers are up and they look at you, why is that? Like, because I'm not doing this for the sake of doing this. I'm doing this because this is what the young people have asked.
That's what they want to do. So yeah, absolutely. Your name is meant to mock us. Okay. This is why we pick a bear over man. Okay. Thank you very much. Nick, the only place to hear is because the way we do it, exactly. On the beach in front of the Punch and Judy show. Yeah, exactly. It's to come repeat. Do what we say. It's just difficult. Like I say, either you rise above it, ignore the politics.
The only thing you should rinse and repeat is shampoo. Everything else, you just look at it, adapt it, and move along.
Exactly. Yeah. It's difficult. We're all volunteers. We don't agree with everything. You know, even in my district, I see some groups kind of like, you guys are really strict. You're doing this, you're doing that.
Well, I mean, we could pick the same activity to do, and we would potentially come at it from two different ways and criticize each other for how we've come to that decision. But
no, and you do that, you know, even You know, when we have our totem camping, the district camping competition, everyone camps in a different way. You have the same meal, the same ingredients, and a different meal is done. You
It's like,
pitch your tents
it's the only
differently.
time of year we use those traditional tents because the practicality of trying to dry out heavy canvas when you don't have the space is, and it's normally a wet weekend at that time of year.
It wasn't. It was.
It's nice,
It was
yeah.
The most dangerous words in scouting. We've all done it that way. Absolutely, Derek. And that's kind of not just in scouting. That's kind of in life and in my work in the hospital and stuff like that.
Trying to implement changes at work, like
everyone hates it.
policies.
Everyone hates it. But I think like as long as your scout group is safe, you're all having fun, and it's not just for the young people. And this is what gets on my.
It needs to be fun for us. Or
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
It's a job that you don't get paid for.
Yeah, you're turning up to scouts. You know, I don't want to be here. I don't like the leaders. I don't like the young people. I don't like the programs. So I'm making it. I've always come on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
But if you're not enjoying it, if everything's really winding you up, if you're getting annoyed, then either take some time off.
It's like when I first came back as a section assistant. Like if I had a really crap Thursday, I'm like, oh, you really can't be thinking. But I'm like, I'll pop in because I'm going to be passing anyway. Have a cup of coffee with you and Tony and Jack and stuff. And I'm like, oh, do you know what? I'm in a much better mood now. I'm going to stay. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Let's crack on.
But yeah, I think we're only human. I did a vlog the other day about like the scouts just annoying me so much and you just think, what's the point? And then you kind of go home, have a cup of tea, have a sleep and think, and see, you know, they were having a bad day. I was having an even more bad day because I was tired or I had an argument.
You had a long day last week, yeah.
It's just one of those things. But politics can just ruin scouts. It can really, really ruin it. And you just think, why? Why am I doing this?
That's why I'm just happy to sort of let them carry on with it, and I'll just do things.
Be in the background.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, leaders, we are coming to the last kind of 5 minutes. We've got to wrap up just because we're going to get ready for scouts. But I want to touch on one thing. If you are going to Gilwell Park next weekend for the Nights Away weekender, it starts on the Friday. Nothing really kicks off on the Friday. It's all kind of Saturday, Sunday.
Friday for arrivals.
Friday, turn up, put your tent up, sit around, have a kind of chat, but nothing goes on. And this is about pre-planning to get your nights away. So you're not going to actually get your nights away. It's not given to you on this particular weekend. This is about the prep work, how you achieve your permit. Maybe you're not too...
Yeah, because it wasn't that clear when I first started. I thought just going on the Nights Away permit course was how you got your permit. Like,
no. So yeah, this will be a really cool weekend. What's that? Tickets £40. If you're lucky enough,
£90 for catering seems reasonable for a weekend. Especially if you're coming straight after work on the train.
Exactly.
Don't have the minibus picking you up from the station.
There's a whole load of things. Let's have a look in here. So cooking on fires, catering on a large scale. That's a good one. Catering, greenfield camping, how to level up your indoor to camping, how to gain a permit, admin for planning a nights away, how to handle the paper. Oh God, the paperwork. That's a big thing.
It's a flow chart, really. That's
health and safety, stoves and cooking, axe or knife, tents, camping equipment, free time management. Oh, okay. Fire lighting, fire layers and construction, how to make a campfire inclusive, updates on HQ, drop-in sessions with HQ, early years nights away, international camping, to name a few.
Free time management, I reckon that would be down to the fact that most accidents at camp happen when the kids have sort of gone a bit feral in the woods.
Yeah, but it's important to have free time for both you, the leader, and for them as well, not to have
I think it's like just setting those boundaries within that, though. That's the,
absolutely
important bit.
Just going back over some comments really briefly, just because we're running out of time. Ian's tuning in. Some of our best scouts have been girls. Absolutely. And I've got some really funny stories and great memories of Girl Scouts that we've had in my troop. As I tell the Beavers and Cubs, because it took the Scouts this long to get smart, and they're like,
yeah,
very good. Valerie she is attending Nights Away weekend.
I'm guessing she's running axes, or
we're not allowed to say. But what I do know,
I don't know.
What I do know is that Bush Scout will be there. I'll be there. and there's a really cool program if you're coming for some practical skills, and that's the whole point of Bush Scout is the practical skills. So if you want to learn how to
It's the
do
Practical
tarps,
Skills Alliance was the
absolutely,
tagline.
that's the
yeah.
tagline. Tarps, we're doing some cooking, we're doing knife work, we're doing fires. Those are the 4 things that we're doing, and we're going to show you. It's not a deep dive into it. It's a kind of a taster session of these are the things that you can do. And if you want to further your knowledge, Bush Scouts there, you can come do some of our courses and stuff
It's
like
like
that.
The best bits of knowledge I got, I didn't write down and forgotten them, but it's like, how many sandwiches you get out of a loaf of bread. So when you're planning lunch and stuff, like your shopping list, rather than guesstimating.
It's those little tricks of the trade. Ian, some challenges here, but part-time jobs, secondary school, the other challenges all compete. Yeah, exactly. It's,
I mean, our kids are young enough that they don't have part-time jobs, but with the explorers
are there.
Become a
problem. But then we've got our problem is that the Cubs and Scouts do so much on every other night.
Yeah.
We've got rugby, swimming, or Scouts, and it can be really hard. But yeah, I get it. So going back to weekend, if you are coming to Gilwell Park next weekend, come and say hello. We'll be over at the Bush Scout thing. Are you down?
No, I'm still on holiday.
Oh, you're on. Oh, lucky man. So if you're there, I'll be there Friday all the way to Sunday. It'll be great to come and say hello and learn those skills. 2 seconds. Beautiful. That is it. We're now 7:10. We're running out of time. Me and Ray have got to go and prep for Scouts because I've changed.
Dinner.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Dinner. I've changed the program for tonight, so we're changing the plan because we're meant to do knife work. Yeah. And we have this major problem. We're in London. We don't have any woods at the end of the road. We've got to really plan it to kind of go, are you free this weekend? We've got to go and get some woods. We don't have it at the end of the garden. We don't have it, the patio outside is half a tent. And that's a problem scouting in London. So I didn't have enough time to prep. I was going to go to Wickes, B&Q, and to get wood, all in all, was just under 60 quid. Like enough wood and everything to chop it.
I used to go to a place down by Ravenscourt Park.
Yeah. But that takes planning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That really does. And you're working, I'm working, we've got the family, all that kind of stuff. So it's change of plan. We're going to go and do a hike tonight to a...
the 2018 Norjam, possibly.
I think I met Ray at last Norjam. Yeah, no doubt with Bush Scout wearing the pink tops.
Only on a Tuesday.
Only on a Tuesday.
I think so, Tuesdays.
Megan, have a good evening. Thank you very much. Whatever you're doing, Scouts, stay safe. Have a great time. Just relax. With the politics, when the politics just kind of...
Have a cup of tea or a coffee and just let them crack on.
It's
and then
not
just
It's really not worth
do what you're doing as long as you're staying within the rules that have been set to us, the guidance.
Exactly. 46 Norwich. Do you remember them?
I mean, I don't remember them.
Why not?
We had like a really bad pandemic for 2 years and didn't meet anybody and
Jason,
other things going on.
Bye-bye. SEN. Yeah.
Yes, I remember now.
Everyone remembers it. And to this day,
I love it when the memories come up in my Facebook profile and I see the pictures and stuff. That it's one of those days.
I can tell you, right? I wasn't at Norjam because to take a week off is difficult. Anyway, irrelevant. But I can tell you, I can hand on heart tell you that session, and I know exactly that session, gets talked about at nearly every
Bush Scout Mount meet. That anyone that was there talks about it.
They still talk about it, and people say, "Oh, what is your favorite memory?" And I can. It's one of those
having a conversation with one of the kids about the pigeons, and he's like, "I don't want to eat a pigeon. They're dirty." Because most people's experience of pigeons are like in your town centre when they've got like club foots and stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, no, these have come from like the Queen's estate in Sandringham. Like the Queen's not going to have like scubby pigeons walking around her land like and stuff. And
absolutely.
Like, oh, okay.
So yeah, I know that session, and I know exactly what session you're talking about. Is still really fresh in the guys who attended Norjam with the Bush Scout guys. So well done. Thank you very much. I've got to go. Ray's got to go. We've got to quickly have some food before Scout starts. We'll be back next Thursday. He's not here next Thursday.
I might be able to do it from where I am.
Never know, but I'll be here. Maybe with another new co-host. Until then, have a great week. Enjoy the sunshine. Oh, one more little message. Our young people had fun with you guys. The pigeon was funny. One of our guys was a vegetarian.
He wasn't by the end of it, if I remember, but yeah.
Shh. Derek, see you later.
See you, Derek.
And I will see all guys next week. You have a great holiday.
Yep.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.